Hey guys, so today in this video I'm going to show you the step of me grinding the bus, the floor of the bus, and actually painting the floor. And before I even get started, I want to thank you guys so much and all of the feedback I'm getting. I love the emails and the questions. I'm going to start answering those questions in the next couple of videos. Also, I'm going to start to put out a podcast and hopefully be able to get in a little bit more detail on different steps and stuff that I'm doing throughout the bus. So if there's anything specific you guys want me to talk about, let me know. And I'll do my best to answer them. So before we get started in this video, just make sure to, wear your eye protection. Again, my last video I talked about this. I really like this thing, this head mask, shield. It works out great. So once I got the floor lifted up and cut out, I ended up just coming through and grinding it with this 7-inch grinder. And every so often, and then I kind of went in behind it and I cleaned it up with my little grinder here. And this little 80 grit kind of like grinding pad type deal to get into like the crevices I couldn't get into this with this stuff here. Once I did that, I came in afterwards and I blew it out with a blower and washed it down with some lacquer thinner. I don't have any here lacquer thinner to show you, but lacquer thinner is kind of like, I guess, something like mineral spirits, just a little bit stronger. So I'm sure you can use something like mineral spirit, lacquer thinner, or anything along those kind of, materials. You shouldn't use water. And if you use water, make sure to dry it off, because then the rust will come, the surface rust will come back. So after I did that, I came in afterwards with this stuff here. This stuff here is great. This stuff here is asphalt. It's like a rust inhibitor. It's an acid that you pour onto this rust, surface rust, and it's supposedly supposed to neutralize it. And with my experience, it works awesome. I use this on all the projects that I do that has anything to do, that has any kind of rust on it. I restore a whole bunch of cars, and throughout the years, I've used this stuff like on floorboards, any panels of the car, the frame of the car. I always run this through it, and then I do the appropriate steps afterwards, depending on what part of the car that I'm doing. Depends on the steps after it. But anyways, I get this here, and you use a spray bottle, something like this here, and you spray the sheet metal. And this will work for anything. And I'm just talking specifically here, like I said, I'm talking specifically about the floor here, but these steps will kind of work for anything that you're doing. I went in and I sprayed it, and I let it sit 24 hours, to the next day, or sometimes 48 hours. But in this specific thing, I did it 24 hours. 24 hours later, I came in and I grinded it up again. And I shot it one more time with this asphalt. Let it sit another 24 hours. When I came back on the 24 hours later, it pretty much, most of, all of the rust was pretty much taken care of between the grinding, using the asphalt, coming back and grinding it again. It was all pretty taken care of. What I finished the floor with, after I did all of that, was this here, this Pour 15. The reason I have this here, Rust-Oleum, is this is something that most people can buy in their Home Depot or Lowe's or whatever, Ace Hardware store, any location, any hardware store around your area. And this stuff is, it's not bad. It's okay. It's roughly runs anywhere between 25 bucks to maybe 35 bucks a gallon. The stuff I prefer is this Pour 15. I've used this on ever since I found out about this, I don't know, a couple of years ago. I've been using this on all of any restoration work, anything that I do that has any kind of rust on it. This stuff is great. This stuff is awesome. I personally think it's much better than Rust-Oleum. Rust-Oleum still has a place, places that you should use them that would work just fine. But, overall, I use this for just about everything. Now, this is much more expensive than Rust-Oleum. Like I said, this is 25 bucks or so. A gallon of this stuff, you're running anywhere from $150 to $200 a gallon. But it's like I can't even tell you how good it is. I just love it. Both of these things would work in this situation. You could use either one of these things in this situation. Since I'm gonna lay new floor on top of it, whatever. Either one of those will work fine. The way I chose to put it on this time was, I rolled it on. this stuff, either one of these things, you can either roll it on or spray it on, depending on, you know, in what situation you're going to use it. Like if I was using it on a restoration job or something that I was outside, that would be visible, I would spray any of these things on. But since this was going to be covered, I just went with rolling it on. This stuff is nasty as far as it gets all over you, and it takes like 2 weeks for that stuff to come off of you. I rolled it on. You know, this thing here was maybe like $3. These little foam rollers type gizmos, that was maybe like another, you know, $5 or $6 or something like that. It's better because since it's so expensive, you don't want to use one of those big old hairy rollers. First of all, it'll leave all that hair behind. Second of all, it'll suck up half a quart in just the roller itself. So you use something like this, and that way you get more of your, you know, you use up more of the stuff on where you want to put it. So it went pretty easy. I went through it, got it on. I did 1 coat. I'm gonna do a second coat. I just haven't gotten back to putting a second coat on it, but I'm gonna put another, you know, a second coat. And you know, that's about it. If you guys have any questions associated with this part of this, you know, this step, like I said, just go ahead and email me. You can email me at lewis@lemonheadpress, or you can go to the blog post associated with this video and ask a question there, or leave a comment in the video. I'll be more than happy to answer whatever I can. Thank you guys.